Hi, it's Glenn Dietzel here. Welcome to another Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. This is our first live Google Hangout of 2015. And for those of you that have been part of our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts throughout 2014, welcome to a new year. And I look forward to assisting you in your journey and helping you create a highly leveraged Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. If you have been following us, you know that I talk a lot about creating leverage with your own business. And what you want to consider in today's market is the idea that linear growth is not good enough anymore, that you must have ways of accelerating the actions that you take, the execution that you focus on each and every day, and the goals and the dreams that you have for yourself. And we're going to be talking about that today. For those of you that are new to our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, perhaps you are a subscriber of Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine, or you have stumbled upon us in some way, shape, or form. I want to provide you a great welcome today, and I look forward to assisting you in your path towards greatness in the year 2015. You and I are connecting here today, and we're going to I'm going to spend time today and provide you 10 principles, and this is going to be a little bit different in terms of how do you build a dream or create a dream to build a more profitable you. Because at the essence of everything that you do, you are your company's brand, right? And as much as you have to have a company brand, you absolutely must have a strong personal brand, which starts with the assets, the hidden assets, your skills, your unique talents, the specific knowledge that you've accumulated through the School of Hard Knocks. And I've created and shared with you principles, templates, tools, processes, predictable, certain, and secure methods that I use and that my clients use in order to create massive leaps in business growth. And at the end of the day, in order to grow your company at an accelerated rate, you've got to grow yourself, right? And you understand that. So I'm going to provide today 10 specific principles, and I think you'll find this a lot different. And if you are a student of identifying your dream and articulating the goals, you'll find this probably a little bit different than what you maybe are used to. And I certainly could spend hours, I could spend days and months talking about how the mind works and the science behind dreaming and execution are using a completely different goal-setting methodology. And we've covered that on previous trainings, our FAST system, for example, in terms of how do you escalate your dream and your execution of that dream in the marketplace today. So I want to take with you just a very real journey around these 10 principles that I believe are the core to helping not only you discovering what your dream really is, but understanding how to build goal setting around the dream or the dreams that you have for 2015. So I welcome you, and I look forward to the journey with you today over our next 30 minutes on our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. If you notice my cheeks being a little bit red, it's because today is an extremely cold day here at the international office of Awaken. And behind me, I have our trusty rusty fireplace here going, keeping me warm and keeping our international office and those that are associated here directly with me in this training room here, keeping us warm today. I have just been away overseas for 3 weeks and had a speaking engagement in London, England, and combined that with an amazing travels with my wife. And then my kids joined us, are both in high school, joined us in Scotland for the Christmas season in Scotland. So without further ado, if you've been following us or been a part of our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, you know that we always start near the beginning with a picture of what's going on at the Canadian Lake Home. And this is where we do our very high-end intensive training, our business retreats. And we have many of our mentors of Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine make the trek to the Canadian lake home and they come in from all over the world. And this is what the lake looks like today at the Canadian lake home. It is a very cold day, minus 13.5 Celsius. And if you are working in Fahrenheit, that's pretty cold. And it's about minus 25 with the wind chill today. So my cheeks are a little bit cold because I just went through for a power walk in the park behind here where our international office is located. And there's certainly a wind chill in the air, and that would probably minus 25 probably would put you somewhere around minus 15 Fahrenheit. So it kind of gives you an idea of just how cold it is today. It's our first cold day of the season. I guess we've been away, but the weather here has been very mild, above freezing. So this is our first cold day. So let's move forward today. I want to share these 10 principles with you around dreaming and goal setting. I highly recommend that you take notes. You'll know that one of our speed to market principles, and we have well in excess of 400 today. One of them is that writing is the doing part of thinking. And I want to help you create a breakthrough. In order to do that, you've got to really, you'll want to take the most kinesthetic activity that activates your subconscious mind, which is responsible for most of the behavior that you take on a daily basis. And I want to help you elucidate or set free yourself, your true self, to discover the greatness that you were born with. So let's begin. Writing is the doing part of thinking. So you and I am a student of writing. If you notice, we combine the high-end tech component of our Google Hangouts using Google Hangouts, and we are a leader in the marketplace, especially in the coaching, consulting, and training industry around using Google Hangouts. And I provided you over 2014 a lot of tools, a lot of systems to leverage your own branding using Google Hangouts, but I do use paper and pen. And I really believe it is the most fastest way of activating your subconscious mind to create the kind of change that you want to create in your life. So let's move forward today. And I want to give you these 10 principles. Then I want to share with you some mistakes that I see people making in goal setting and dreaming. And then I want to give you 3 ways that I use these principles, a very nuts and bolts approach, if you will, very real and tangible way that I would highly recommend that if you want to grow a company, and if you're just in startup mode, do it in the fastest way possible. And if you already have a company in existence, in order to truly scale the company, you've got to scale your focus, you've got to scale your mindset, and you've got to scale the paradigm in which you're going to execute. All right. So with those principles or without those concepts stated, let's move forward together. So the first principle that I want to share with you is this: that dreaming provides the context for goal setting. Dreaming provides the context for goal setting. Now, I know so many people that are very, very practical. We attract a lot of very practical people that are consultants, that are financial planners, that are accountants, that are lawyers. And a lot of them kind of poo-poo dreaming because they say at the end of the day, everything comes down to goal setting and execution, which I highly agree with. However, I really believe, as I said, that nothing happens without context. And I've used this analogy in the past that if I use the word ball, B-A-L-L, just use the word ball, and I just say the word ball, you have no idea what I mean unless I provide context, because the word ball could mean an object that you throw. It could mean something that you do with a significant other, right? At a party, a ball. Or it could be some kind of real joyous occasion. We're just having a ball. We're having a ton of fun. So every word uttered requires context, right? And this is a huge point, if you've been following what we've been teaching in 2014 around building the right context for your content. And especially if you want to position high-end programs and services, you've got to understand the power of context. So I believe that dreaming provides the context for goal setting. So dreaming is the context. And if we think of, two concentric circles, you've got your inner circle, which is the dream, and you've got the bigger circle outside of the inner circle, which is the goal setting. And I believe that both of them, goal setting is to dreaming, what dreaming is to goal setting. Okay. Dreaming provides the context for the goal setting, which is the execution of your dream. All right. So that's principle number one. Principle number two is this: that dreaming is a powerful way of telling a new story or re-engaging with a former story. Okay. Dreaming is a powerful way of telling a new story or re-engaging with a former story. All right, you got that? Now, you might be saying, Glenn, what do you mean? Well, I want you to consider this right now, that all life comes to us as a story. All right, all life comes to us as a story. You are a part of a story. And if you think back to your English days, all right, and maybe some of you don't want to think back to your English days. I, for one, don't. I didn't do very well in English in high school, and it's kind of amazing because I have 9 years of post-secondary education. So I'm not sure what happened there, but I didn't do very well in English. I was kind of more of a math science kind of guy. And my undergrad is in science and pre-med. But all life comes to us as a story, and every great story, right, has a protagonist and has an antagonist, or has a protagonist and has a number of antagonists. Now, if you remember, protagonist is the hero of the story, right? And the antagonists are those who set themselves against the protagonist, right? And so every great story has a theme. It has something that some things that the protagonist has to overcome, has to overcome in terms of resilience. One of the gifts that my oldest son gave me at Christmas, my oldest son, Callum, who's 12th grade, student body president of his high school, very proud of what he is, who he is, and what he's going for, as I'm sure all of you that have kids, right? You're proud of where your kids are going. And it's probably one of the reasons why you're on this training if you have kids, right? Because you know that modeling is the number one way to achieve success. And you've got to be close to the source of momentum. So every protagonist in a story has a number of antagonists to help to try to separate the protagonist or the hero of the story from what it is that they really are after. And if you think of the book that I received, and now it's a major movie, it's just out in movie theaters on Broken, right? There is a general theme throughout the story, right? Of overcoming, of triumph. And there's a number of protagonists, a number of hurdles that test the character, test the resiliency, test the discipline of the protagonist or the hero. And so if you start considering that all life comes to you as a story, when I point to you, I'm pointing 3 fingers back to me, it comes to both of us, right? As a story. We are the protagonist. We are the hero. You are the hero of your story. And there are all kinds of antagonists or enemies to who you are and what you want to become. And those enemies don't have to be so overt as somebody that wants to hurt you or make fun of you. And we've all had those kinds of people, I'm sure, in our lives, right? I was picked on as a kid, and I had buck teeth, and I was picked on. The one thing that saved me was I was a very good speaker, and I was able to get up in front of people and command attention. And I was also a half-decent athlete, so it helped overcome some of the antagonists or antagonism in my life. However, some of the antagonism that we do have in our lives is more covert, right? It's the story that our parents tell us, our middle-class parents tell us about what we can and can't do, what our teachers told us about what we can and can't do. And quickly we start internalizing these stories from the antagonists in our lives, both overt and covert antagonists, and we start, we create these huge hurdles, and we become disassociated or detached from who we were born. We were born to win. I really believe that to you. We were born to win. And I believe dreaming is a way of associating ourselves with what we were meant to be. And if you understand then this whole concept that all life comes to us as a story, there's protagonist, there's antagonist, there's a general theme, there's a setting, right? And then there are a series of comings and arising or triumphs leading to some great tribulation that the hero has to overcome. And each of us, if we look at our own lives, we have a number of hurdles that we have to overcome and still overcome. And that's the challenge about life. And that's the challenge with business, because I believe that life and business are inseparable. I believe that they're really actually two sides of a coin. They're literally like the right hand and the left hand. All right. And so if you think that business is going to be easy, I'll tell you this right now. The only thing that happens to you or to me that makes business easy is the kind of systems that we use and our willingness to execute in ways that make us feel uncomfortable. Because if you're really comfortable in the way that you're executing right now, chances are, and especially if you start looking at your results, that comfort zone that you've created for yourself is really created this sort of, if you will, a lack of walls or hurdles or tribulations to overcome. And that's the joy of starting and growing a company. It's the joy of life. And I believe that all life has a purpose. And I believe that you have a purpose. And I believe that that's why you and I are on this training event together. And I believe that because life has a purpose, that we can start making sense of the tribulations that we've had to overcome. And maybe we never, ever really truly understand why things have happened to us or are happening to us right now. But I'm here to tell you that if you have a positive outlook around understanding that life does have purpose, and that every story, great story, down through the ages, purpose underlies as part of a theme within a great story. All right? So our next principle, third principle, is this. Dreaming elicits the imagination. Dreaming elicits the imagination. Those people, and some of them, I would consider experts, that sort of, detach themselves and frown upon dreaming as sort of like a senseless activity, because one would argue that it's just, living in your head. And I agree. I believe that's one of the biggest reasons why people, you, me, don't do what we want to do. It's not really because of procrastination, it's because of overthinking, because we live in our head too much. But I don't want to take that approach today. I want you to understand that, yes, we need to live in our head. That's why one of our speed to market principles is you look within for you look within for value, you look without for perspective. You look within for your own value, your own talents, your own uniqueness, your own skills, your own knowledge base, and you look without for perspective. You look into the marketplace to get the kind of data that you really want, okay? It's going to drive your company forward. So dreaming elicits the imagination. And I would submit that nothing great happens in life and in business without the power of an imagination. So I want to give you permission to set yourself free, to allow your imagination to rule. Because at the end of the day, the imagination is the context for what it is that what you really have to get done. Okay? The next one, the next principle number 4, I believe it's principle number 4 here. It is dreaming is the deductive way of talking to your real self. Dreaming is the deductive way of talking to your real self. Okay. Now, a reason why I'm using a big fancy word like deductive is because we've all grown up in an educational setting that's very inductive, starting with first principles. So you can't go to the 10th grade until you've gone through the 9th grade, right? You can't move to post-secondary education till you've accumulated all the credits that you need to do in high school or secondary school. Okay. So and in university, you must, in order to get to, in my case, when I took biochemistry 303, I had to take organic chemistry 202 before I could take biochemistry 303. So there were prerequisites. And so many people are so linear in thinking and so constrained by the educational system, the formalized educational system that rules, and that runs everything inductively from first principles to conclusions. The mind is set and hardwired, especially your subconscious, to start from the big and then work to the small. All right. So dreaming is the deductive way of talking to your real self. Okay. And I submit to all of you that, that's why you want to have a journal. And that's why you want to take a kinesthetic approach to recording your dreams and what it is that you really want to be doing. Okay. And then beginning to dial in the specific action steps that are required for you to get where you want to go. Our next principle is this. This number 5. Dreaming and goal setting need to become personal, not a mechanical exercise. Dreaming and goal setting need to become personal, not a mechanical exercise. Now, I'm going to give you 3 ways that I meet that criteria around integrating dreaming and goal setting here very shortly. So I thought I would, instead of bringing that as 10, I thought I would provide that as 5 as a little bit of anticipation for how I interpret these principles, how Glenn Dietzel does this, and how it's worked for me so powerfully. Because I'll tell you this, up until 12 years ago, I ran my life very mechanically, very inductively. I didn't allow myself to dream. I had a CPA father. I had 2 parents that were so acluistic and so driven that Glenn would become a medical doctor. And everything I did was inductive in its approach. I didn't know how to dream. My father feared dreaming. My dad actually had the notion that if somebody did really truly dream, somebody could end up killing oneself for not meeting the goals and the dreams that one had for one's life. So I grew up in a very mechanical environment. And I'll tell you this, one of the breakthroughs that I had 12 years ago that allowed me to build today one of the fastest growing coaching, consulting, training programs and companies. And we attract a lot of different amazing entrepreneurs all globally, many of them with MBAs, many of them without, many of them seasoned entrepreneurs, many in startup mode. How does somebody with no MBA, no sales training, no business background do that? And it's because I totally learned a new approach away from a mechanical approach to goal setting to something that was a lot more fluid and highly personal. And I want to share with you just 3 strategies, tips that I use here very shortly, okay? Number 6, dreams are tied to your true self. Dreams are tied to your true self. If you really want to set yourself free, you need to know how to understand how to dream. You need to know how to build a new picture, a new story, either re-engage with the story as an early child. And we've covered some of the science of this on some of our episodes that we've had. The average adult today doesn't have an imagination level that exceeds a 14-year-old. So something happens as we move through puberty that our imagination gets cut short and stops. And in fact, many of us regress and we lose the ability to be able to dream. And I believe that dreaming is a way of truly getting a notion of who you really are. All right. And that's important because I believe that we're all born with a dream. We're all, because life has purpose, we're on this earth to fulfill that purpose. And I believe the greatest way of fulfilling your purpose is to my international phone. I meant to turn it off in your office here, and it's ringing here, so it's just throwing me for a loop. I believe the way of really fulfilling your purpose in life is to become entrepreneurial, because you get to engage the creative side of who you are and what you can do with a way of executing into your greatness. All right. Our 7th principle then is a great dream allows you to have multiple finish lines. A great dream allows you to have multiple finish lines. Sure, we all want to grow $1 million business. And if you have done that, like we have, you want to take that to 10 million, and then you want to grow that even more. And my point in saying that is that there's all kinds of finish lines within a true dream. That if you look at the Unbroken, there's a number of finish lines throughout the story, right? And a great story has, a series of where the protagonist is constantly learning how to overcome maybe the ghosts and the dragons within his or her own closet, and it just in everyday real life, overcoming the lack of confidence, the insecurities, the ability to work on your own, how to access your true assets. And once you start overcoming these hurdles, these are all finish lines, right? And just because life should have, and a true dream should have a number of finish lines. Because here's a mistake that so many people make, right? Maybe their goal is to, make their first $1 million. And so they do that and they realize, yeah, that's great. But that's not very satisfying. You need a bigger dream that allows you to experience a number of finish lines, okay? A number of accomplishments. And it's really good. And that's where you break goals down. And we do this and we have a number of systems and programs that allows that I've created that has allowed me to grow our company in the way that we have, and our clients that are all built on daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, so that you have understand the power of dreaming and seeing your dream as a journey. Our 8th principle then is a little formula I want you to write down. Your dream, so whatever it is, cubed. Your dream, okay, and then to the exponent 3. Okay, and so what this is it's a formula for acceleration. And I want to just share with you what I mean by this formula, your dream cubed. I believe that everything is created 3 times. If you are a follower of Stephen Covey, the late, great Stephen Covey, and Stephen Covey organization, they'll say that everything is created twice. I believe as a business owner, everything is created 3 times. I believe the first time something is created is through your dream, through your imagination, through your deductive mind. And we talked about the power of inductive and deductive, right? Deductive begins with the conclusions. That's how your subconscious works. And so everything in life, and especially in business, is created 3 times. First, in your subconscious, your imagination. What is the big picture? What is it that you really want to go after? And this may be re-engineering what you were, the dreams and the imagination that you had as a young child. Okay, or younger child if you are a child still, and you're attending our Google Hangout with your parent, because I know some of you open up our Google Hangouts to your children, which I'm humbled by. So first thing is understanding that a dream is created in the subconscious, the deductive part of your mind. And the subconscious is just it can only think deductively, can only think from big pictures. And part of your deductive mind, that's where your self-esteem is housed. And so if you want to increase your self-esteem, you've got to increase the picture of who you really are in this universe and what your business is really meant to do and who you need to become. So first of all, then, in your dream cubed is your dream created in your subconscious. Secondly, is I believe your dream is created the second time by creating a series of goals. And this training is not really set up on how do you set daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, etc. Suffice it to say that right now, you know that you need to set up some goals. You need a newer picture, a bigger picture, a more compelling vision, so that you can become more emotionally connected to yourself, to the story about why you deserve success, and to your deductive self, which houses your self-esteem. So the second way then that you create your dream is by setting goals. The third way that you fulfill your dream is in the marketplace. That's where you gain the real data that will provide you ultimately the direction that your dream is going to play itself out. All right. So I hope you understand the power of that, of our formula here. Your dream cubed is really important. Next, our ninth principle: dreams inspire, goals motivate. Dreams inspire, goals motivate. Okay, and this really plays around the notion that inspiration is different than motivation. I hear a lot of people poo-pooing motivational speakers. In fact, when I went to my high school reunion, a lot of people had this notion that I'm a motivational speaker. I don't know why or how. I do keynoting for corporations. But I run a coaching, consulting, training company. I guess some of what I do is motivating. Perhaps you find it motivating. But I think motivating is very extrinsic. What I really would like to see, or what I attempt to do, is focus on becoming inspirational. Inspiration starts within. Dreaming is within. Goal setting is the conduit from within to without. All right, is from the internal to the external. And that's why in our formula, your dream cubed, we're going from the internal, the very recesses of your subconscious, your dream, to your goals, which is the outwork or the conduit from your internal to the external environment, to getting the kind of marketing feedback data that you need to grow your company, which is the third component of setting a great dream. Okay? Or realizing for yourself your dream. And the 10th principle then is you need to have a coach and an accountability partner. You need to have a coach and an accountability partner. I can't stress to you enough how important it is for you to select the right coach for your business. It has personally allowed me, and I've had multiple coaches, consultants that I've hired to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't grow a company without proper mentoring. I got that early on in life. And I've invested in coaching, consulting all the time, every year, to grow our company. And I believe you need to have an accountability partner. All right. And that's going to tie into now 3 ways that I take these 10 concepts and I make them real for my life. And before I do that, I just want to talk here for just a couple moments on some of the problems that I see people making with goal setting. I really believe the fundamental mistake that people take in goal setting is they set goals that are in their comfort zone. And I believe true goal setting is outside of your comfort zone in a way that make the ability, challenge you to start meeting some of those goals. I think you need goals that allow you to accomplish something great. I believe that true dreaming and goal setting doesn't allow you to get to all your goals in the first month, right? Yes, you can achieve some goals in the first month. Others will take you a year. Others will take you multiple years. And the key to speeding everything up is understanding how to use accelerated teaching and learning to advance your own accomplishments in business, and in turn, helping your own clients accomplish what it is that they really want to get. Because the faster that you get what you want to get, and you help your clients get what they want to get, the faster your company is going to grow, right? And that's why, you've probably, even if you've been following us, we speak a lot about speed to market and about creating speed as your competitive advantage. And I just see so many people today so focused on trying to execute and grow companies that are really separate from what they really, really need. And so what you need is a new paradigm, a new context. That's why I'm such a huge proponent of dreaming. And then you need a different set of goal setting, which means then that you need a new set of tools, processes, systems in which to execute in a way that your competitors aren't, and in the way that your old self failed to execute. Because if you continue to keep doing what you've always been doing, right, this, you're going to continue to get the results that you got. And if you weren't happy with what you got in 2014, or you didn't get what you want to as quickly as enough, then I would challenge you to look at your assumptions about success and about your true willingness to take the kind of focused, outcome-driven action that you really need to take. So I want to help you right now with 3 practical ways that I use these 10 principles and to help me execute faster and quicker. And the first principle is this: I use index cards. I keep index cards on me all the time, and I write down what I'm going to accomplish on an index card, so it's in my back pocket all the time. And yes, I have a phone that I can use, and everything is calendared in there, and I also use my phone. But as I said, the most kinesthetic way of activating your subconscious is the physical act of writing things down. So things go on my index cards, big pictures, big components of what I want to go focus on each week, each month, for the year. And then from that, I translate that every single day into daily tasks of what I'm going to make sure that I focus on. So I break that all down. And something else that I do, and that my wife and I do together, and that's really important then, is to have an accountability partner, as I mentioned, and we have a dream journal and a book. Okay, and this is highly personal, and I didn't get Fiona's permission to share this with you. But we have a dream journal book, and what we do is this: we write our dreams down, we take pictures of where we want to go, what we want to do together, what we want to do with our kids, how we want to give back, the organizations that we want to give to, the charities that we want to support, and the dreams that we really have for each other and for ourselves and our families and for some of our significant friends and family members, and they go in there. We write them down. And so throughout the day, I might write on my index card 2 or 3 dreams, goals that I have for our company in the context of why I'm in business. So what Fiona and I hope to do and want to do. And they're then recorded in a journal/book that we write everything down. And it's a way for us to communicate together that we tried doing the GDoc format. Everything in our company is run through Google Docs. We tried doing that. But as I mentioned, one of our principles is that I believe that goal setting needs to be personal, not mechanical. And what we found by using a Google Doc together is it became a very mechanical process. And we weren't really emotionally connected to what we were putting down. So we found that writing things down and sharing them is just such a more powerful and meaningful way of being both on the same page in terms of where we want to go. And that includes, like, we include everything from the real estate that we purchase, to the investments that we buy, to the relationship assets that we have. I'm not a real estate expert. I have experts that I rely on to help us with our real estate endeavors, investing endeavors, etc., because that's not my area of expertise. As much as I enjoy learning, because I'm a huge avid learner, but I believe in paying for the best. You pay for the best and you only cry once, right? And then the third, what we do, Fiona and I together, is we communicate with each other daily. And we communicate with each other through text messages, through quick video chats a couple of times during the day. Sometimes if I'm super busy and Fiona's out, running errands with our kids and doing other things. She's a stay-at-home mom, and I cherish that. And our kids are very lucky to have a stay-at-home mom. And I just feel very, very blessed. And it's one of the reasons, it was one of our dreams that we had together, that our goals, that was to use the company to release both of us from our daily jobs. And we were able to do that 10 years ago. And so we have a very close-knit family. And if you're not in that situation, I believe, again, that life has purpose. We all have a calling. We all have, I have different hurdles to overcome than you do. And that's what makes the human journey, and that's what makes your story so powerful. Remember, all life comes to us as a story. Okay? Your story's not my story. And that's a good thing. Your journey's not my journey. And that's maybe even a better thing for you. All right. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. You need an accountability partner. And one of my accountability partners, yes, I've got a mastermind that I belong to. Yes, I have coaches and mentors that I pay. And probably the best accountability partner I have is my wife. And so we communicate on a daily basis through text messages, through video chat, quick video chats during the day, through FaceTime, a lot of FaceTime chats, just a quick connection. And it's really powerful. And communicating where we're going, in the heat of the day. And sometimes, some days, we're not thinking of the bigger picture, right? Because we got a lot of things going on in life with our families, with our kids. And I understand full well how busy life can be. And that's why you've got to have a better system for dreaming and for goal setting and for executing in 2015. So take these 10 concepts that I shared with you today. And I have found them to be instrumental in my own life. I trust that you can use some of them, maybe all of them, in re-engineering your own dream process. I recommend that you get a dream journal. I have a moleskin in my computer bag, and that moleskin goes wherever I am. It's what Hemingway used and other greats in the area of writing and art used to record their thinking. And I use that, and our journal that Fiona and I use is really a great big moleskin, if you will, that records really in real time what we're doing and where we want to go. So take those 10 concepts, the 3 principles that I shared with you, and how I use those 10 principles. It's just a really quick way of helping you re-engineer your thinking and the rules of engagement that you have, and hopefully reorienting yourself around your own rules of engagement for dreaming and for executing in 2015. So I salute you to not only going for your dream, but living it today. If we can be of further assistance to you in any way, shape, or form, don't hesitate to phone our international office at 519-542-3043, 519-542-3043. And on behalf of the entire Awaken team, I salute you to your big dream and to executing in real time. Remember our formula, your dream cubed, to get the kind of marketing feedback data that's going to push your company forward. Get the kind of mentorship, get the kind of accountability partners that are going to provide you the true context for executing in ways that others don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. We call that the seam of success. And I salute you to the seam of success in 2015.